one thing I can say for sure. One thing I can say for sure is that it's a disgrace when women do not know their place. Let's get this episode started on Chelsea's Live Line. Alrighty, welcome to another episode of Chelsea's Live Line. It's so great to see y'all. I know it's been a minute since I have seen y'all, but I appreciate y'all for being here, for showing me love. And we're going to be here not for a long time, but for a good time, okay? So make sure that you hit that like button on your way in, or hit that dislike button if you don't like what you're hearing, but give me a chance first. That's what I'll say. But tonight's episode is called, Can Women Be Simps Too? Because we already heard about Simps. We know about Russell Simpson and all of that, and how he's a simp for Sierra, as we may associate him with that. But I do think that it's possible for women to be simps, and that's what I'm going to display to y'all tonight. But before I even do that, I'm going to make sure to let y'all know that men are simps too, and men usually get that connotation of being simps whenever they are doing the most for their women, right? They're going above and beyond, but they're not getting that love reciprocated. Okay, and I see y'all in the chat. Salute, salute. I see Eric in the chat. Our bro, Harrison Family Values. Mona. Shout out to Mona for being here. I appreciate you. And then also Aunt Tracy, thank you for being here as well. King J. Sean, Kojak, and everybody else in the chat. Yes, welcome to Chelsea's Live Liners, or the Live Liners, should I call y'all. I appreciate y'all so much for being here. Yeah, last week I was at the Janet Jackson concert, as some of y'all may know, because Janesta was talking about that as well. I had the chance to meet Janesta. She didn't want her picture posted on the internet, I understand, but I did get the chance to meet her. And it's really good being able to fellowship with people that I meet online in person. So shout out to all of y'all for being here. I see you, Squeegee Kid, in the chat. King Strong, I appreciate you as well. Thank you. And Corey Joe, I see you. You ninja watching. Hey, as long as you're watching and supporting, I'm with it. Let's get into it. And I hope that y'all did the poll tonight as well, because the poll was asking, can women be simps? And I'm going to read the poll so far before I even get into showing you examples as to why women are simps. They're really called the simpettes. All right. And there's one woman I'm going to show to y'all tonight. Her name is Shirley Brown. She made a song, and I call her Shirley the Simpette. All right, so let me get into that. But before I do, I want to actually read this poll really quick. So just bear with me, okay? Bear with me. Okay, so the poll says 92% of y'all say that women can be simps, and 8% of y'all say that women cannot be simps. Interesting. It seems like majority say yes. And see, that's the thing. A lot of times, us women per se, we think that only men can be simps and that only men can do for their significant other. But I think there's some women who are doing too much. Some women that don't know their place. And like I told y'all at the start of this episode, when women don't know their place, it becomes a huge disgrace. All right. And shout out to Dre. He said, what's up with that photo shoot on your stories? Yeah, something coming soon. You have to pay attention to it. But shout out to Detroit Luxury for the t-shirt. I'm rocking the Luxurious Girl shirt. So check them out. Coming soon. I was a part of their photo shoot today. So some more content is coming soon. Yes. So stay tuned for that. All right, y'all. Shout out to y'all for being in the chat. But let's get into it, all right? I didn't have a verse for y'all today because I don't know. In the Bible, maybe there were some cases in which women were simping, but not really. So I don't have nothing for y'all. All I'm going to just say is that you need to be equally yoked. That's the biggest thing, because if you have these conversations with your significant other early on about what you desire when it comes to marriage, when it comes to life as a whole, there will be no need for wires to be crossed later on when it's too late. You've invested all these years, these light on and off, light switch relationships. And I'm telling you, what are y'all talking about? Everybody claims they love each other. I love you, I love you, I love you. And we say that word and we throw it out so freely. But the question I have is that, when are y'all having these deep discussions? These discussions that could be considered triggering. Y'all don't want to have these discussions early on, but that's the thing. Y'all are in that butterfly stage, and until you get out of that, you're not going to be able to face reality about what you desire out of a relationship, out of marriage, and y'all just going to continue to live day by day and not have those results that you want. Okay? And like Kojak said, I don't think there's any women simping in the Bible. The biggest simp in the Bible was Adam, though. And that's bars right there, brother. That's bars. Let me give you the sound air horn for this one. Because that was the biggest simp in the Bible. I know we can all agree on that. That Adam allowed for Eve to take the lead, and as a result, here we are today, struggling with the consequences that they set up for us. Okay? It's as simple as that. But what I'll do is get into examples of simps. And this is my first example. Right? It's the worst thing in the world when a man is not recognized. When a man is not recognized. How can a woman take the time out to erase a man's head off of a photo? What woman has that type of time? Like literally they said bro booked a whole helicopter and a yacht, but got posted headless. That's insane. Because it is. That is totally insane for you to think that it's acceptable to be headless on a picture. Why would you need to have the need? And women, tell me in the chat, maybe women know this as well. Why would a woman want to post a man without posting a man? Like if you're going to do all this, you might as well not even post him. I don't understand. You're trying to keep him a secret. If this man was a cheater before you, it don't matter if you post him headless. He'll find a way to cheat with somebody if he wants to. A woman will do her research to find who this man is if she's interested in him and gain access to him only if he allows it. A man can't be stolen from a woman, ladies. That man had to have wanted to be stolen, okay? Taken advantage of. So this is what I'm telling you. As women, we want to take a man's head off a photo and do all this Photoshop work and all of this, but it's not going to keep you content in your relationship at the end of the day. Here's some more pictures. You're literally taking his head off of the photos, and what does that do for you, ma'am? You might as well take all the pictures by yourself. I don't know what it's giving. I don't know what it's giving. Maybe insecure. Maybe you talking about you want to be secretive. Like, see, this is the difference between privacy and being secretive. And this is definitely the latter of the two. You're trying to be secretive. It's a big difference because you can post your significant other sometimes, but for you to clearly Photoshop his whole head off of this photo is ridiculous. And I don't think a man should put up with that. Because I would love to know if he's reciprocating that or not. If not, then to me that would be a simp. Because what are you trying to hide? Right, it's giving side chick vibes. That as well. I totally agree with that. Because why would you want to hide this man? Like I told y'all, any woman that wants to find this man will be able to find him. There's nothing you can hide on that woman. I'm sorry. Okay? Let's continue. Another example of some simps before I get into the simpettes. Gotta talk a little bit more about the simps, okay? Let me read about the simps. This woman here, her name is Shaw Drake, and she said that she met a man last month. And within 3 weeks, he purchased me a 2023 Nissan Rogue in my name. If that ain't simping, I don't know what is. I'm sorry. Funded my business with enough money for me to pay myself 6 figures a year, plus cover all business expenses. I'm a single mother of 4. 2 failed marriages. And the red pill community wants us to believe that we have to settle or die alone. Ladies, go take what's yours. This is what happens when you learn to truly date on your own terms. And see, when you hear phrases like this, people, date on your own terms, it's not our own thing. We have to be selfless. And so many people are selfish, thinking about what they can get. So you have to read between the lies, y'all. Not the lines, but the lies. She says, you don't have to lay on your back and try to get them to provide. Right, which I agree with that part for sure. You don't lay on your back. Don't do that, okay, until you're married. You don't have to lie about having kids. And I don't know who would lie about having kids. See, that off the rip, if you're lying about things like that, you'll lie about small things as well. You don't have to lower your standards or settle. That's true. You don't have to wait 3 years to ask for what you want. You can show up as you with your dark skin, kinky hair, Fashion Nova clothes, and still walk away with everything your heart desires. I stay trying to put y'all on game. That's just what she said. An emphasis on the game part. See, because everybody thinks dating relationships is a game. And it's not. It's not to be taken lightly. But so many people think it is because they're thinking about their benefit. And she says, join the movement if you're ready. And let me show y'all some pictures of what she's dealing with here. She's not posting her man either. She's not posting her man either. I mean, I guess Donald J. Trump is her significant other. Her high value man. That's who she's claiming. See, that's the thing. You're going to put another man's face on top of this man's face. And it's crazy how he can only know you for 3 weeks, but is buying you a 2023 SUV and doing all this for you. It's a big red flag. You said mother of 4, 2 failed marriages. Totally red flag. As red as my shirt is, y'all. As red as this shirt is that I'm wearing. This is what you got going on right here. And she's teaching other women. She's teaching other women that, hey, I did it. You can do it too. I did it. You can do it too. And this is the problem I have, is that so many men don't do their research to understand that what does woman want with you? What are you bringing to the table, man? Other than your money. Seriously, that's what I was going to say. Women are some bigger finessers than men are. Truly. Look at this and see that women are getting on their game. And y'all better understand what you signing up for. See, that's what I'm saying. Because some men, it'll be a nice man that will buy all this stuff for her and decides to marry her. She ends up staying with him for years, just doing whatever she wants to do behind the scenes. And eventually, if she decides to divorce him after so many years, she can get the alimony and all other benefits from him. This is what I'm talking about. Exactly. She only wants his money. Super Saiyan simp. Okay? That's that. All right. And let me talk about some simpettes at this point. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk about some simpettes. All right? It's extremely important that we realize that simpettes exist. That's why I had y'all do the poll, but my answer is that women can be simps, and I'm gonna tell you why. Do y'all know who this woman is right here? Maybe any of my old school folks in the audience right now. Let me know. Put a 1 in the chat if you know this woman. If you do, just put her name in the chat, or a 2 if you don't. This is for my old school folks out here, because she made a song that a lot of people know, but I'm gonna read these lyrics in just a bit to dissect the song. Because I have the song in my playlist. And Aunt Tracy, you don't know who she is? Okay. So if my old school folks don't know, then y'all probably don't know as well. But this lady's name is Shirley Brown. All right? Shirley Brown. And we're going to nickname her for the day as Shirley the Simpet. And I'm going to tell you why. Because she created these lyrics from a song called Woman to Woman. Oh, y'all said y'all know her. 1 in the chat. I see y'all. Mark Cooper. Yeah, okay. Eric, what? All right, y'all. So I saw some 1s and 2s. But yes, this is Shirley the Simpet. All right, she made some lyrics that had women singing. It was a song called Woman to Woman. I'm going to not sing the lyrics, but I'll be reading the lyrics to y'all, okay? Let's get into it. So here we go. She's having a dialogue. Well, really, it's really a monologue, but she's having a quote-unquote dialogue with a woman named Barbara. And y'all going to find out in just a bit why she knows this woman, Barbara. Okay, here we go. Hello, may I speak to Barbara? Barbara, this is Shirley. You might not know who I am, but the reason I'm calling you is because I was going through my old man's pockets this morning, and I just happened to find your name and number. So woman to woman, I don't think it's being any more than fair to call you and let you know where I'm coming from. Now, Barbara, I don't know how you're going to take this, but whether you be cool or come out of a bag on me, you see, it really doesn't really make any difference. But it's only fair that I let you know that the man you're in love with, he's mine. From the top of his head to the bottom of his feet. The bed he sleeps in and every piece of food he eats. You see, I make it possible. The clothes on his back, I buy them. The car he drives, I pay the note every month. And see, this is what I'm saying. I can't even say these lyrics without laughing because it's hilarious. Let me continue though. So I'm telling you these things to let you know how much I love that man. And woman to woman, I think you understand just how much I'll do to keep him. This was the first definition of simpet. It was just simping 101, for real. This woman says, the clothes on his back. The clothes on his back, I buy them. The car he drives, I pay the note every month. This is what I'm talking about. She's calling this woman whose number she found in her husband's pocket. Why are you calling Barbara, Shirley? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Why? He said she spit truth. Yeah, I don't know for truth for who. Because this ain't it. Look, I don't know what's going on, but I will tell you this. This is an anthem for a lot of women to be singing this song. And I just don't like how women will fight with other women over a man. It's not called sisterhood. It's not about sisterhood, but it's about the fact, why get mad at this woman who doesn't even know who you are? This woman doesn't know who you are, but you're calling her to let her know you found her number in your man's pocket. Why are you not talking to your man? This should have been woman to man conversation. Boyfriend to girlfriend, husband to wife, but I don't think you should have involved this woman. And that's where women will literally lose their dignity trying to fight another woman about a man that she could have spoken with. and have that conversation with him instead of involving this woman. It don't make no sense. Yes, you said Shirley and Barbara have been talking for a long time about the same tired old man, and nothing has changed. And see, a man will hear a song like this and say, wow, she's spitting that truth, she's spitting bars, whatever. But let me tell you, every woman isn't going to be doing all this, buying the clothes that's on his back and paying his note every month. When things are out of order, it doesn't work. Like I told you, when a woman doesn't know her place, it becomes a disgrace. Not only for her, but for y'all as a couple, because you go into situations where the woman's going to end up leading. Like we see with this whole Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade situation with the 50-50. Gabrielle is giving off straight masculinity. And many men are like, oh, I'll sign up for it because she's taking care of half the bills, but now she got half the masculinity as well. So do you want that? Do you want that? And so many men, so many pookies, like Successful Melanated Dusty is saying, will sign up for that simpet. They'll sign up for her because they want attention. They don't understand. Many men will love that. Many men will love a woman that, like, it's a difference between a woman who's submitting to a man and a woman who's simping for a man, right? Because a woman who's simping for a man will do anything for that man and doesn't care about dignity, doesn't care about order. And this is why I'm going to show you this video next about the reason why I don't think women should be simping out here, okay?
Can I get y'all support?
Yes! Yes, you go, girl!
We got you.
You got it, girl.
Do you think?
Oh, so sweet.
What I'm talking about. All right, turn it back on.
He said yes.
Man, turn the music back on. Get that music. DJ.
Sing that shit, What you say, Chad?
And that's completely embarrassing. All right? That's completely embarrassing where you're a woman getting on your knee to propose to a man. A man always leads. And this is why we need more two-parent households, right? We have Father's Day coming up soon. And I'm definitely going to be doing a special dedicated to fathers because it's so important to recognize that we have to have a mother and a father in the household together. There's no need for women to be thinking it's okay to get on one knee and do that. There's no need at all. I'm sorry. It's out of order. It's out of place. And this is why I say it's a state of emergency right now. It's a state of emergency because too much is going on when it comes to relationships, right? I'm tired of having these same old discussions, and I know y'all tired of hearing about how women and men can't cooperate, can't learn how to date properly, and everybody is doing what they want to do. The statistics will always be out of whack because of people like this who are making a fool out themselves and thinking this is the standard for relationships. All right? That's what we got to understand. There's so many things, so many different avenues I could talk about, but I think that the United States is looking more like the United States of simps. This is what I think the world is turning into. This is what I think we've landed at this point in time where it's acceptable for people to think that women can lead and forget a man, I can do this by myself. I'm going to go to the sperm bank and I'm going to do what I got to do because I can't depend on a man. My daddy left me. My boyfriend left me. My man left me, this and that. Now I'm giving up on men. And this is why I think as a society, we'll never get anywhere. We'll never get anywhere. Like, we're doomed. This is why I say RIP to any community that will never exist anymore, because we're at a state in time now where we're not being taught. Like, where can anybody let me know, where are the youth being taught about relationships? You know, TikTok, you got all the social media platforms out here. They're learning about relationships and their standards are being set based off of what they see their mothers, their grandmothers and whatnot doing. And this is what I'm saying. A lot of people out here need to be ripped of their titles, stripped of their titles. Some people don't deserve to be a mother. They just deserve to be called a lady who had a baby. Some of these grandmothers don't deserve to be called grandmothers. I'm just saying, they're just a lady that got old and they children had children. But I'm just saying, everybody doesn't deserve to be called a mother. Everybody doesn't deserve to be called a grandmother. Because they're doing the same stuff that they were doing at the Freaknik that they're doing at church now. Literally, I saw a group of women. I didn't see this in person, but I saw a group of women online, older women who were doing hustles to the church music. We can't separate the church from the world anymore. All right? We can't do that. They're doing hustles in the church. And as much as I love to dance, I'm not participating in that because we have to know where we are. But everything's so mixed in today because we have pastors that want to sugarcoat what's going on in this world. They don't want to call people out. And this is why so many people don't even want to go to church, because they see that the pastors aren't being real with the people who are listening to them, the church members. The pastors are not being real with the church members. The pastors are not being real with their own spouses, let alone with themselves, let alone with God. You get me? People are on a hunt to find a good church home. They are. I'm telling you. And sometimes people only see the most church out of you. You are sometimes the most church that people ever see. That's why I'm so thankful that my community, y'all are not just Christians. I got people who are agnostic, right? That listen to me, that watch my show. I'm not here just to attract Christians, because if I was, then I don't know what kind of audience I would have, but I'm just letting y'all know that we have to realize that everybody can relate to you if you talk about some logic. And I want to give a shout out to Ross P. Trucking. I appreciate you for being here. What's good? I appreciate you, sir. Salute.
Bands to make her dance. Bands to make her dance.
I appreciate you so much for the $5 super chat. Thank you. Yes, let's continue this though. I'm really here just freestyling today because it's been a while, but I'm going to read some of these chat messages. Have you seen the church in California that is based on Beyonce? What? And see, that's what I'm saying. Like, we worshiping people more than we actually do God. That's another thing. That's a totally different topic. I can't believe that. And the world is doomed when you know that Target, y'all know Target, the store Target has a satanist artist that's creating children's clothes. That's how you know the world is messed up today. Because there could be so many different hidden messages that could be put on the children's clothes with different symbols and whatnot that we don't recognize because we don't know about this stuff. We don't know about it. You see, that's why so many preachers, these pimp preachers, look down on me because I'm a very truthful minister. Hey, amen. I love the truth because I know when I leave church, I want to leave church better than when I came, right? Because we're all dealing with something. I may be dealing with gossiping. I may be dealing with this, maybe dealing with that, right? We all are dealing with some type of sin, and I can't say my sin is any less than yours is. You get what I'm saying? Because we can't categorize sin. Sin is sin. Some of us sin less. But at the end of the day, no matter how much you sin or how less you sin, we're all sinning. All right. But I'm going to get into some things. Okay. I'm just going to talk a little bit with y'all tonight. Just about any kind of topics at the end of the day. Cause it's more just getting back into the gist of things. Okay. I talked about the Can Women Be Simps? That was part of it, but I'm going to just talk a little bit more about just a few topics I have in mind. So let me know if y'all want to talk about anything in the chat. This won't be long. I just want to give y'all a little bit of content, but what I will say is this. Just topics that have come to mind lately is that women have lost their mind. And y'all let me know y'all thoughts as well, because we be out in this world. I go to concerts. I go to the gym. I go to a few other events here and there. And I just say women have really lost it. And it's so sad because I say women, but it's not all women. But majority of them have lost their minds. The way they dress. Matter of fact, they're not dressing. That's the thing. They dress less. No style, no class. And see, the thing about it is that people say that Fashion Nova has ratchet clothes. That's a lie. That's a lie because I've purchased some items from there, but you have to know what you're purchasing. You have to know what you're wearing. And you can't be wearing all this provocative stuff and expect not to be objectified. We don't want to be assumed to be an OnlyFans model, but we're wearing everything that an OnlyFans model will wear. I'm just telling you, women, we have to level it up. We have to level it up. This is the look at me generation. The look at me, lust at me, all of that. And I don't know what y'all men have to choose from. And that's the scary part about it. As a woman, I'm trying to figure out how y'all men find a quality woman out here. Because there's not many to choose from. And I shake my head all the time because I just see that these women aren't ready. And until the women aren't ready, the men can't be ready either, because who y'all gonna be ready for? And that's why men are leaving out. Y'all know they flying out. Flights, they catching them flights, okay? They're not catching feelings, they're catching flights. I'm scared for y'all, man. I'm really scared because not only do you have to worry if that woman is good quality, y'all have to make sure that she's not out here sleeping around with everybody. Because everybody is out here with everybody. People have forgotten about STDs. They think it's something that just was of the past. When you know, the HIV and all that stuff, that's just of the past because they got medicine for that now. And even if they do have medicine for that now, do you have medicine for your mind or realize that you shouldn't be giving everybody your time? What happened to respect? What happened to I'm going to love myself enough that I'm not going to be out here looking like a fool? Oh, and this is why I don't associate with a lot of people, like a lot of women per se, because I would never want to be associated with a woman out here for the streets. When I'm at home, I'm trying to make it rhyme, but I'm at home, I'm trying to focus and get on my grind and get to my goals in life. But there's not a lot of women that I've associated with that's like that. And that's why the circle gets smaller and smaller every day. I don't know about y'all, but I just can't find quality people to be around today because everybody don't have the same morals as you. They'll call me old school because of the foundation that my mother, that my grandmother set, but I'm so thankful I have those morals still. I'm so thankful that I have that strong foundation and that I don't associate with any and everybody because I don't need that attention. I don't need that attention out here. I'm so low key, and I'm just thankful I do things the way I do. But I just feel like I'm just like one out of a million. And I know a few other women out here that are like me, but y'all men, y'all really have to be vetting properly because you have to understand the motive in which that woman, why that woman has interest in you. Because every woman doesn't just want you just for who you are. Well, she may want you for who you are, but it's called that far as she wants you for who you are as far as the legacy that you've built up, the personality that you've built up, not for who you are inside. And you have to really be careful because women finesse too. It's not just the men that's pimping. It's the women that's doing it too. Not only are the women simping, they also pimping out here. You saw it. This woman said she met a man 3 weeks ago, and I'm going to get to the super chats in a second. I appreciate y'all. This woman said she met a man 3 weeks ago, but he bought her a vehicle. He paid all this money for her business. And she said, I'm going to teach you how to do it too. I'm going to teach you how to do it too. I don't want to learn that from you because I'm not trying to be with this old white man just because he got money. And that's another thing. I dislike how we are so quick as a race of people to want to diss the opposite sex, right? We already have racism. I'm not blaming nobody, okay? I'm just stating what it is. We already have racism that exists in the world. But then we have colorism, and then we have sexism, and then we have all these different categories. We got ageism as well because it's the fact that, as we know, the older women are mad at the younger women because of the passed up opportunities. Some of us younger women are doing it right by not having to skip over the good guys. But the older women are mad at us sometimes. Not all. Some older women are mad at us because we're not doing what they did. And they also want another chance at doing the same stuff again because you got to realize time is precious. Time is precious. And I don't advocate for women to have these light switch relationships on and off. Y'all heard so many women that have said they've had on and off relationships. And what have they gotten out of it other than children, other than headaches, sometimes death, and other things that have happened? There's so many people on YouTube. If you take a look on YouTube, there's a lot of people who are dead right now because of these on and off relationships, because of what they thought was really love, but ended up being detrimental. People killing each other because of jealousy and so many reasons. That's why you have to be careful what you're signing up for, people, because everybody ain't mentally sane. And that's one of the first things I would tell y'all to do is make sure y'all are getting some mental evaluations of these folks before you claim them to be your bae and your boo, because you don't know who you really talking to sometimes. You don't know how these people are acting out here because they really acting. See, that's the thing. Some of these people go with some Academy Award actors out here. Y'all think they're the real deal, and you could be around somebody 24/7 and still not be able to trust them. Because they could be smiling right in your face and texting who they want to. Not everybody's like that, but you got to face reality. Everything is not going to be peaches and creams. Everything is not going to be hunky-dory. It's not going to be hunky-dory all the time. Sometimes y'all going to be dealing with folks that y'all thought were one way but ended up being another, because representative mode, that's how we all start off sometimes. We're showing our best selves. As I mentioned a couple weeks ago, on a job, we show up with our best selves. We show up making sure that we dressed a certain way to impress that interviewer who is going to interview us, right? But over time, our work ethic can decrease. We can get lax on a job, and that's how it is when it comes to relationships as well. That's how it is. What I'm gonna do is read some of these super chats, and I'm gonna get back into my little rant here, because I'm letting y'all know that y'all may be some good people in the chat, but there's some people out here that don't know how to act in these streets. So I'm just trying to figure out how people really vet out here. Because I'm telling you, as we talked about it before, the dating pool is trash. It's somewhat trash. There's hope, but we got to face reality too. I can't just say everything out here is good, because I see it on a daily basis. And I'm not actively dating or anything like that, but I still see what these people going through, and I see it in these different groups, right? I see it in these different groups I'm a part of. I'm a part of a group on Facebook where Christian women are talking about relationships. And you would think that these women are dating the devils, the way they talk about these men, and they trying to figure out how can they forgive them? How can they do this? How can they do that? But I'm saying, sometimes you got to ask yourself, what's love got to do with it? Rest in peace to Tina, but you got to ask yourself these questions. Let me get into the super chat real quick. Shout out to Eric. He said, with the $2, he said, this chick out of order, access denied. Access denied. This chick out of order. Yes, any woman proposing to a man is out of order. You should not sign up for that. It may show that she's interested in you, but again, she doesn't know her place. She doesn't know her role, and she's not allowing you to lead. Therefore, it's going to be constant battles that y'all going to be facing in that relationship. Yeah, Mona, I hear you. He said, this is why I'm concerned for my sons. The pickings are slim. And see, Mona, you got some handsome sons, okay, honey? You got some handsome sons. And if I had a daughter, that was your son's age. You know what I'm saying? If I had 2 daughters, that were your son's ages, okay? Look, I'll be grooming them up so they can be wives, all right? Because that's one thing I noticed that other cultures, they're doing the arranged marriages. And some people were wondering if we should even go back to that. Where I think that it shouldn't be where it's a forced thing, where somebody sees, like let's say you got 2 families and the families try to put the children together, but it shouldn't be a forced thing. I'm saying the children should obviously have interest, physical interest, you get what I'm saying? They should be emotionally, physically attracted to these people before you try to arrange them. But to blindly arrange somebody, I don't think we should do that. But I think that families, good wholesome families, should be making sure that their children are keeping family life going, because it's like a needle in a haystack trying to find a healthy black family. And I'm saying if there were examples for us to see, then we could highlight those examples. I would love to do it, but so many of us are highlighting what we see on social media as an example of family. I'm not following nobody from Lust and Hip Hop, and yeah, I said it, Lust and Hip Hop, because there's no love. Love ain't got nothing to do with that. Love ain't got nothing to do with love and hip hop. All right, but that's what we're looking at. We're looking at love and hip hop. I don't know what other reality TV shows people are watching out here, but they're making it the norm for them, and that's why we don't have no success. We don't have any success. The pickings are slim, okay? I'm gonna keep reading these comments. Shout out to Janessa for the $5 super chat. It was great to finally meet you in person. I appreciate you for being here. He said, good evening, sis. Chelsea's live line and chat family. Shout out to you, Janessa. Thank you. All right, let's continue this. Ooh. Shout out to Derek for the $5 as well. He said, I can't hate or boo anyone here, so I'll show some love. Thank you. I appreciate that, because you know you be hating on Cleveland. I got family over there, so that's why I can't hate on Cleveland. I see y'all in this chat, though. Aloha to Monarch Travel and Entertainment. I appreciate you for being here. And shout out to Squeegee Kid. Thank you. I'm happy to be back for sure. Salute to you. See, the thing is, he's like, you got to be consistent. And I appreciate y'all for holding me accountable, showing me love, and just being genuine to me. Because y'all didn't have to do it, but again, y'all here showing me love. So I just thank you. I thank you for that. And that's why I try to pour into people. And see, that's the thing about it. It's like we always look at when you reap what you sow. When we say you reap what you sow, we usually say it as a negative connotation, but I'm going to say it as a positive one today, because it's like when you literally reap, you reap what you sow. So when you're sowing seeds of kindness, sowing seeds of love and generosity to other folks, whether it's your time, your money, whatever you do, you're going to get that back. And see, we can't be out here looking for that blessing, because you're going to be waiting. You're going to be waiting on God's time for it. And that's where you know that you got to reevaluate yourself, because, again, when you're looking for that miracle, you may just not get it when you want it. But you just got to sow it, because, again, like a bamboo tree, you can literally be watering that thing for months. You can be watering that bamboo tree for months, but all of a sudden, it just sprouts up and grows in 6 weeks. But it took that sowing. It took that sowing for all those months for it to finally hit that breaking point, right? hit that breaking point. And that's why I'm reading a book right now called Atomic Habits by James Clear. That book has taught me that it's like when you, for example, my folks in the chat that work out and do what they do, right? Whatever you're doing in life, when you're trying to reach a goal, we're so focused on like the little steps. We're trying to focus on like the little progress here and there, but we got to realize we got to keep going because we don't see change. Like when you're working out, you say, I've been doing this workout for 3 months and I haven't seen a difference. But it could literally be that 3 months and second day that you see that change because all of a sudden your body goes over to, you know, the boiling point. So let me just give you all another example of what I'm trying to say here. Let's say you have ice that's freezing, right? And we know that the temperature in which ice starts to melt is 32 degrees, right? So let's say that it's 33 degrees and the ice hasn't melted yet, but as soon as it reaches 32 degrees, it starts melting all of a sudden. And what was the difference? Just 1 degree. And sometimes we have to turn up things just 1 degree for us to see the change. And that's why I say, I appreciate y'all for pouring into me every little step that I'm taking to try to better myself and create the content that y'all deserve. So I appreciate y'all so much on my little rants here. Shout out to Chavis for the $5. He said, I'm so glad to be married. That's a blessing. And I'm saying people today, some married people make marriage look bad. Some married people make marriage look bad because I don't see the happiness, right? Because so many of us, when we get into relationships, we have that honeymoon phase. But I think that it's the worst to have that honeymoon phase and then it's just like you go down from there. It's like a valley from there. I think that you should always have these little peaks and valleys here and there, but overall, we should see the love. For us to desire marriage, us people who are not married, I want to see happy married couples. I know everything is not going to be happy every single day, but I do know that it would be great to see married couples who actually look like they love each other and not that they were forced to stay because they didn't want to sign a divorce paper because they didn't want to pay their alimony or their child support or fill in the blank, right? It would be great to know that people really got married and stayed married because they loved each other. And I know love is not the thing that keeps people married, but I'm saying we just want to see examples of that. We just want to see that in the community to know that it's not something that is forced, but it's something that's really fruitful. All right. But you said being single is wild out here. Who are you telling? If I was single these days, I'd be hitting like witness protection. I try to get out. I go to my little concerts here and there, but I'm just taking my time. And I would prefer to meet somebody through somebody. That's one thing is that I've met my 2 exes not through anybody. I didn't know any mutual friends. And that's another thing I would love to find out. Put a 1 in the chat for those who are married. Put a 1 in the chat for those who are married. I would love to find out if y'all had mutual friends with y'all or anybody that's dating right now. Just put a 1 in the chat if y'all met y'all significant other through mutual friends or y'all got mutual friends before y'all started dating. Or put a 2 in the chat if you're currently dating somebody and you don't have any mutual friends with them. I just want to see that. And I see y'all with the super chats. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to get to y'all in just a second. But I was just trying to figure this out because, again, for my dating past, I never had any mutual friends with my exes. And that's something I wish I could have and can have in the future is some mutual friends because it just be the best thing in the world, right? I see Eric with the 1. So you said that you did have mutual friends. Okay, I got you. And see, I think it's best when you have mutual friends sometimes, but sometimes that can be bad too, especially when y'all break up and then you got to figure out which mutual friend is going on which side because you tired of hearing about you're trying to hear about your ex, but your mutual friend keeps bringing up your ex. So it's pros and cons to that. But yeah, this dating stuff is interesting. And I'm not getting on any dating apps. I'm not doing that. Sorry, that's out. Even if my significant other was on it, I'm not doing that. Because again, how you find them, as I mentioned 2 weeks ago, how you find them is sometimes how you lose them. I don't need you on this dating app after we get together. I don't have time to be looking through nobody's phone because it's too much work. And I'm not signing up for the CIA, for none of that. I'm not taking the time out to do that. It's too much work and I don't have enough time and I don't want to dedicate myself to have to be investigating your life. Because if I can't trust you now, I'm not going to be able to trust you later. I'm telling you. If I have your trust, allow for me to keep it. Because as soon as I lose it, it's a wrap. Shout out to Cujo for the $2. Cujo 340, I appreciate 340, should I say? I appreciate you. He said finally caught alive. Salute, sis. Salute to you, bro. I appreciate you for being here. Shout out to the AP. Hey, it's been a while since I seen you. You said just passing through, showing my girl some love. Salute to you, AP. I appreciate the love. Thank you, thank you. You know I gotta play your song. I know you're tired of hearing it, but here we go. Okay. Hey, shout out to you, said showing me some love. I appreciate that so much. I do. Shout out to King J Shine for the 20 ball as well. Just a little quick sponsorship. Much love to my buddy Chelsea and chat. All love from DFW. Yes, shout out to DFW. I appreciate you.
20s, count that. Hundreds,
Hey.
count that. Dollars, count that. Money.
Hey. Yeah, shout out to DFW, my Dallas folks. I appreciate y'all so much for the love. I enjoyed being in Dallas this month. Hopefully I can get back there again. I really enjoyed it. Y'all said it was the big D and y'all didn't lie. So I appreciate that so much. Thank you, thank you. It looks like I'm caught up on Super Chats. All right, I appreciate y'all. Let's continue this. Kojak said, my parents met through coworkers and they've been married for almost 43 years. Wow, we got to salute that one now. Come on, let's clap it up. Let's clap it up. Once I find my... Okay, here we go. Let's clap it up. It's been a minute since I've seen these sound bites. I'm like, where they at? But I'm going to get back to it. But that's what's up, though. See, that's what I'm talking about. It could be some type of mutual friend, but I think that works as well. And it's nothing like seeing the married people being friends with other married people. Because how is it possible that like a married man could be... All his friends are single baby daddies? That doesn't make sense to me. I think you have to be equally yoked with not just your significant other. You need to be equally yoked with the friendships that you have as well. Okay? And this is why I tell y'all. I always tell y'all, I don't know if y'all remember the 5 F's that I tell y'all I look for in a significant other. But again, those 5 F's are as follows. It's faith, family, friends, future, and finances. Those 5s. Those are my 5 F's. And then I have a asterisk next to the next 5, which is simply fitness, because I need for my significant other to enjoy that fitness life like I do. I'm not saying you have to go as much as I do, but I like to keep the same energy when it comes to fitness. I think that's extremely important for us to be on the same wavelength, because like I told y'all before, I was in a relationship one time and got off track, gained 20 pounds because we were eating Wendy's and all that all the time, and I was being led, but it was up to me to eat the food. So I'm not going to blame anybody, but I'm saying that it's important for you to be equally yoked in a lot of areas. Because if you're somebody who's fitness savvy, then you want somebody else to be that way. So again, that's why I tell anybody who's single, look for the 5 F's. If you're into your faith, definitely you need to make sure you have a strong foundation on your faith. And that's the worst thing in the world. Women are simps as well, because they will literally change their whole religion for a man. And I don't think you should do that. I'm just going to keep it real, because that's one thing everybody, no matter who you are, should stand firm on your religion. If you can change your religion, honey, for somebody, then you can change anything for somebody. And I'd rather not do that, because as soon as you start doing one thing, you're going to have to do another. And you need to have a solid foundation on something. And I think that solid foundation needs to be standards. And when we hear standards, y'all, when we hear the word standards, a lot of times we think that it's something negative. We can't have standards. And soon enough, this upcoming month in June, I'm going to have my brothers in Christ on, because I'm going to go through my list. I'm going to go through my list of what I desire, what's non-negotiables for me. Because you already know one thing that's pretty much a non-negotiable, and that's the whole baby mama thing. It's the whole baby mama thing. But we're going to get into that on another day. But you got to have them standards. Whatever it may be. But I will waver. It all depends on who the one is, because if he's meeting other standards, then I will waver. And shout out to Kia G. I saw you in the chat earlier, sis. I appreciate you for being here as well. Look, I will waver on some of those standards, but we gotta have something. You can't be like, I was a Christian yesterday, now I'm a Muslim because he's a Muslim. And what? He's not the one. Like, there's people who date people of other religions. Do what y'all do, but I just think it's easier when we're equally yoked on all areas. I don't have time for this, because that's the same thing when it comes to sometimes race. Some people date outside their race. They do, and there's nothing wrong with that. Again, I'll prefer black men. I've stated that before. I'll say it again. I will. It's just something about them. But anyway, that's who I prefer. And I know I got other women that can, they can testify. So that's just it. Like, I'm solid on that. But I'm solid on that at the end of the day. It is what it is. But I'm trying to say, we got to be equally yoked in all areas. You said, don't you wave, ma'am. Especially if your standards are reasonable. Yeah, those standards are staying. But things that are flexible, I have no problem doing that. Because I think every single person needs to come in ready to compromise on something. But it just can't be the standards. Like, it just can't be the standards. All right. I'm going to, because I have my list too. Let me see. I'm going to give y'all a few things to tell y'all what I'm talking about. When we go over this list so far, what I got. Okay, yeah, I got a list. It is 30 things on this list, but I'm going to chop this thing down before I go over it with my brothers in Christ. But like I told y'all, the number one thing on my list so far is that he has to love God. He has to love God and have a relationship with God. I'm not saying you have to go to church every single day. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that because I don't go to church every single day. I don't go to church every single day, but I try to read my Bible. I try to do something, read the word of the day, engage, talk to God. At least do something. Love him and have a good relationship with him. And I don't think that's too much to ask for. I'm not asking you to go to Bible study every single day. I'm not asking you to be in the choir if you can't sing. That's unreasonable. Because most of the time, it's so funny is that us Christian women, sometimes we don't even want a real Christian man. We don't want a real Christian man. And what's the funny part? What's even funnier is that sometimes some of these Christian men aren't the, I'd be mean if I say this, but sometimes some of these Christian men aren't the best looking. Okay? I'm not trying to be funny or anything like that. I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm just saying they be trying to pair you up with brother such and such. And he don't be looking like such a nothing. Much of nothing, should I say. But there's some beautiful, again, like Janessa is saying, there's some beautiful black brothers, but let's keep it real. The people they try to pair you up with, oh, he's a Christian man, he's this and that, but what does he look like? What does he look like? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Or you may have gotten paired with sister such and such, and she looks like nothing. But she's a good woman. She'll be a good mother. She'll be a good cook. She cooks, she cleans, she a freak in the sheets. But she looks like a dog in the face. So what are you going to do? Oh, she a Christian woman, though. She got her morals. She got her values. And that's what I'm saying. We don't deserve that as Christians. We don't deserve to be like, oh, he's Christian. That's before the looks. The looks, I got to make sure you look good before I find out if you are a Christian, because I'm not going to give you the time of day if you don't look good or decent. And I know people say beauty's only skin deep. Yeah. Beauty's only skin deep. True beauty's on the inside. That's fine. But I don't really care how good it looks like on the inside if I haven't seen something that look good on the outside. Let's keep it real. Because that's one thing we shouldn't be doing is, I'm not saying he has to be a 10 or anything like that. But I'm saying that he has to look like something worth looking at. Because who wants to wake up in the morning and be like, oh, good morning. Good morning. You know, like you dreading waking up. Like you rather take some sleeping pills and just go to sleep because this person doesn't even look like nothing. Worth nothing. And I don't think people should struggle like that. Like you rather be Stevie Wonder than look at your significant other. You rather be Stevie Wonder than look at your significant other. I don't think God would want us to struggle that much, y'all. Can I get a 1 in the chat if God wouldn't want us to struggle? God wouldn't want us with no ugly person. Put a 1 in the chat if God wouldn't want us with no ugly person. Put a 2 in the chat if you say, I don't care about the looks, whatever. But I just think that God would want us with no ugly person. I'm just trying to be real. Even though beauty is in the eye of the beholder. What one person looks like, to one person could look like, because you see some interesting looking people. I'm not going to say ugly. I'm not going to say fugly. But I'm going to say it's some interesting people. I don't know what's the word for it, but they just look interesting. And they go with some decent looking people. And I'm trying to figure out what it was. But I tell you, sometimes in life, sometimes it's like, oh, Eric, you don't care about the looks. That's good. You've gotten to that point in your life. That's good. But I'm saying when a person, I think anybody who doesn't have kids and wants kids would prefer to have those kids with a decent looking person. Shout out to Kia for that one. I know God wants the best for his children. And that's what I'm saying. You shouldn't settle less. I'm not saying you should go for the Christian keys when you ain't got the keys to success. I'm not saying that. I'm just telling you that if you are a decent looking person, you deserve a decent looking person. Can I get an amen from the congregation? Amen. Amen. All right. I don't think we should struggle. But I'm going to get into something. Because have y'all ever dealt with a woman? I'm going to ask the men in the chat first. Men, have y'all ever dealt with a woman who was a friend of yours, but may have wanted more and kind of stayed around as you had other relationships, and she was the go-to that you would call and tell her about the other females too? Have y'all ever done something like that? Men, let me know. in the chat, because I know there's some women out here who, as I get back to the simp topic, there's some women out here, some simpettes out here who are good friends with a man. She said, oh, that's my male best friend. That's my male best friend. And I'm basically hearing about everything that this man is telling me about this woman. He's telling me she's beautiful, this and that. And this is all the stuff I want to hear as a woman. But I'm going to sit on the sideline and just get that emotional connection from that man until my Prince Charming comes on that white horse and steals me away. Until then, I'm just emotionally connected to this man. And I'm just going to be in the way. I'm going to get mad. I'm going to get jealous when my best friend, my male best friend, gets into another relationship, because I wish it could be me. It's some women out here like that. That's why I'm going to get into that example. Y'all, I see some yeses in the chat. So that confirms what I'm talking about. Let's get into it. Let's get into it right now. I'm going to read this real quick. I didn't even comment the lady name. I'm sorry, lady. But this lady, she was in the Facebook group. She put up a message, and I'm going to read that message to y'all today. She says, so I have a friend who calls me his best friend. We are strictly platonic, and he has even told me some of the girls that he likes. Some of the girls that he likes. Excuse me. Here we go. The problem is, I really, really, really like him. Even though I know he doesn't like me like that, I can't help it. I can't help it. If I wanted to, wouldn't help it, even if I could. I feel in my heart I should move on from this friendship, or at least take a break for a few weeks away from him. Sadly, if I do this, I lose my ride for church services. She said, I lose my ride for church services and other church events. Also, my son would be so sad, or would be sad. He has a son as well, and they both like each other. How do I handle this without spilling out I like him? Okay, here we go. Ooh. See, this is what I'm talking about, because there's so many women. Women go in the friend zone too. And you really know ain't no action when the women go in the friend zone, because it's usually the men that go in the friend zone. But when it's a woman going in the friend zone, she's just there for that emotional connection. Or she, like I said, she really likes him. Like in this case, as she's mentioning, she knows he doesn't like her. And see, men aren't confusing. And us ladies, we know that. We know that men aren't confusing. And God is not the author of confusion. So if that man was sent from heaven, then we would know that he would not be confusing. He would make his intentions very clear. And he said that he is her best friend. He calls me his best friend. She said, I should move on from this friendship. And I think that's the healthiest thing you could do. You can pray on it for sure. You can pray on it. And I would pray while I'm praying my way out of there. Because I think it's important to realize that if you have feelings for somebody, that stuff doesn't just go away. It magnifies over time. That's why I tell y'all all the time, you have to be careful about these friendships that y'all have. These friendships that y'all have. Because every little moment of time can add up to more. Oh, we laugh here, we kiki. Until y'all kikiing in the bedroom. And then it's too late at that point because you gave access. Y'all got comfortable. And y'all can never get too comfortable when it comes to these female-male dynamic relationships. I'm telling y'all. Okay, I don't have any male friends that's on speed dial that I'm calling to tell them about my whole day and this and that. I don't have any of that. Because I told y'all before, and I'll say it again. I'm going to make room for my future husband, even though he's not in my life right now. Maybe in my life, but obviously I don't know who he is right now. But I'm saying is that I'm making room for him now. What I mean is that I'm setting the play up right now. So we're going to hit that touchdown together. Y'all get me? I'm saying this to say that I am not going to have any male friends in my significant other's way. I'm not going to do that because it's rude to him. How can you got to have boundaries, people. And we don't want to set boundaries up because we think this. I'm going to talk about this in just a second. Single until married. Because y'all love to say somebody's single until married because of what the Bible says and what legalities and all that. But I'm going to get into that single until married stuff too in just a second. But let me make a note of that just so I won't forget, honey. Single until married. All right. I'm going to get to that. But back to my main point here. When it comes to this woman, you got your heart all twisted up You got your heart all twisted up. You need to remove yourself from the situation because it's not healthy. And you said you lost your church ride, but honey, I'll provide a ride for you. Where you at? Where you at? I'll get you the Uber to church because I'd rather you do that than to have to think that you need this man just for a ride to church service and other church events. And see, this is what I'm saying. You can't do that, ma'am. You can't do that. You can go drive your way, he drive his way, and y'all can just see each other at church, but I will try to back up a little bit. That's what I would do. I would try to back up a little bit and just do it little by little. You get what I'm saying? The heat is on right now. You feeling them? You feeling them. Bring that stuff down to about a good 65 degrees. Bring it down to a good 60, 55. You know what I'm saying? Bring that stuff on down because in reality, that needs to be cut off. But it's just best thing to do is just wean yourself away. Stop calling us often. Stop texting us often. Stop looking out for that good morning text, ma'am, because we know you're looking out for it. And I would just do my best to not feel like I have to be depending on him because you don't need to depend on nobody but God and your man. And see, this is the priority. If you would, the women at church will focus more on getting themselves to be a wife instead of, you're basically like a wife to this man almost in a way because you feel the need to depend on him. You feel the need to depend on him. And since you feel the need to depend on him, it's like you can't break away from this man. Like you have ties to this man. Like y'all are one. And you can be friends with somebody, but you just got to bag it up because at some point in time, he's ready to recruit his wife. And he hasn't even put you in the top 5 lineup, the starting 5. Obviously, you're not in the playbook. Look, seriously, by any means, get a bike. I would do whatever it takes. Shout out to you, Pons Tech. I appreciate you for being here. Look, Uber, Lyft, or the church van. Sis, come through with that, because I got to get you to clap for that one. Hold on. I'm going to get you to pause, because that's Uber, Lyft, the church van. I'm telling you, the church will have no problem picking you up. So you cannot make these little excuses. I know you want to hold on, but holding on will lead you in the wrong direction. He's telling you about the girls that you like. Do you know that's emotional wear and tear on your mind as well? When you think about it, it's emotional wear and tear on your mind. Because you think about, I wish I could be her. What does she look like? Okay, maybe I need to wear this. Maybe I need to put these earrings on. Maybe I need to put a little bit more makeup on, do this, do that, because he likes that type. No matter how much you do to change your body up, if that man is not interested in you, he's not interested in you. There's so many women now that wish they could reverse everything they did on that BBL table. Some women wish they could come back alive again and be able to tell y'all some stories and tell y'all it wasn't worth it getting that BBL operation, for example. And whether it's the BBL or whatever y'all getting on here, but I just wouldn't do that at the cost of a man or trying to fit in with another woman. We are the society of fitting in. And this is the thing. When you are in the society of fitting in, you'll always try to follow the trends. You'll never be able to relax and rest in who you truly are. That's just on a separate topic, but that's what I'm just trying to let y'all know is that women today, we're always competing. We always look the same. And I know before I had an episode where I asked one of my guests, how can I stand out from a society where there's women who all look the same? Women that are showing off their bodies. They said, you don't have to compete where you don't compare. You don't have to compete where you don't compare. And that's just to let you ladies know is that if everybody's out here wearing fake hair, fake nails, fake lashes, fake personalities, and fake everything else, fill in the blank, then all you got to do is be the opposite of that. And that's what you'll attract. But I'm telling you, these fake women are going to attract fake men. Because if you're wearing fake hair, for example, then you should also expect that man to also wear a toupee or fake beards. Now, they're doing all of that. Do you want that? If you don't want that, then you shouldn't be that. And that's why it's so important to be what you desire to receive. You can't be out here for the streets, but expect somebody who isn't in the streets. But back to this lady, I'm going to read these comments. And shout out to Derek Gaines for the $2. You said, it's not the ride she'll miss, it's him. Okay, tell the truth. That's what I'm saying. It's not no ride. Look, lady, you would get to church services because what were you doing before he started giving you rides to church service? That's my question. And there's so many different opportunities. People are begging people to get to church every day. But for some reason, you think that you need this man to get to church. That's the only person you know at this church, honey. If so, you need to branch out because you say you go to other church events. So you obviously know other church people. And I just think that's an excuse. And it's so sad because women will waste their whole life obviously putting the message out here on Facebook for us to see. They'll waste their whole life out here trying to figure out, how can I get this man to like me? She said, how do I handle this without spilling out I like him? But the best thing is not playing around, not tiptoeing around the situation and acting like you can neglect your feelings. You can't neglect the feelings that you have for this man. All right, ladies, just please keep it real. And tell that man, maybe sometimes you got to tell him how you feel. And I'm going to tell y'all something really quick. There was a TV show I watched at one point in time in which a woman was heavy, right? She was a heavy woman. She was young, around her 20s. And her male best friend was also in his 20s. And he was always talking about the type of girls he liked, this and that. So she thought she would go on a journey to lose weight. And see, when you lose weight for the wrong reasons, you get the wrong results. I'm not saying on the scale, but I'm going to tell you what I'm talking about. She decided to lose weight. And then eventually she approaches her male best friend and says, hey, I'm interested in you. Can we talk? And he says no. And the question I have for you, ladies, is what is your plan next? Because it never works out. Once you express your feelings and the feelings aren't reciprocated, you become a simpette. You are literally becoming a simpette because you didn't know your place. You took advantage of the situation. And now that man doesn't even want to be friends with her anymore because you can't go back from that. Because he's always going to be thinking, oh, she likes me. And it's just going to be awkward now. That's why I tell you, if you have feelings for a man and he hasn't expressed those feelings for you, what are you doing? And men, if you're with a woman, if you're dealing with a female best friend for years and she's never expressed that she likes you or just giving you a little bit of an inch of love in a way, you get what I'm saying? Like she's never giving you the indication that she likes you. What are you doing being friend zone? Go to another zone, okay? Because you're going to be wasting your whole life trying to impress a woman that doesn't like you. Men do it. Women do it too. I'm going to show you another example of where it backfires. Y'all know right now, and shout out to Team Peterson real quick. For the $2, you said femininity and respect are how you stand out now. Yes, because that's it. Femininity and respect. It's as simple. It's so simple, y'all. It's so simple that it's not even funny. And I just think that so many women don't want to follow a man's rules because they've never had a man to follow in life. They listen to God on and off. They only calling God when they need him. They don't know about consistency when it comes to a man because they never had that foundation at home because their mother wasn't following femininity and respect because their grandmother wasn't following femininity and respect. And then their great-grands might have been following it, but it got trickled down. It got mixed up in the signal. And now we think that femininity is a failure to society because we believe in feminism. And then when it comes to respect, the only respect they want is respect that they want to give themselves, which is there's nothing. They're not giving themselves respect. So how are they going to give somebody else respect? That's what I have a problem with. I'm telling you, it all starts with a woman. And this is the reason why I talk about women. I try to help women because it all started with a woman somewhere. The reason I say that is because y'all know my favorite acronyms. Y'all know it. WCW, Women Control Wombs. It started with a woman thinking it was okay to open her legs up. She opened her legs up. She had the child with this man. And then here goes another woman that's opening her legs up to that same man. Here goes another woman opening her legs up to that same man. And that's how it goes because it's literally more women that have children than men because it's the women having the same children. Having children with the same men. Y'all understand what I'm saying here. Y'all know. That's why I'm saying it starts with a woman. If a woman had respect for herself, and just imagine if no women had their legs open out here, then what would happen? The men will understand that they have to step their standards up and say, oh, if the women are opening their legs up, then maybe I need to make sure to court her, to wife her up and get that opportunity. Because that's how it was supposed to go. But as soon as women started lowering their standards, that's when men said, okay, since this woman is lowering her standards, let me go with her. But then they get mad at the other woman who doesn't lower her standards because they think that she has too many standards. No, all women should have had standards. That's the problem. But as soon as one woman removes it, they think all women are the same. But I'm sorry to tell you, I'm not like Bonquisha down the street because this one here got standards. This one here understands that we got to have a foundation of something. Otherwise, anything can happen. Anything is possible. And you can have it your way like Burger King, but it's not happening over here, King. It's not happening over here, King. You're not having it your way over here. We got to have it God's way. Because we know he the king first and foremost. If we're going to keep it real tonight, let's do that. But I'm just saying, y'all got the legs open. And y'all messages are left on open. Y'all messages are left on open by these men that y'all thought would take y'all serious because he was saying the right things at the right time. He was saying the right things at the right time. And let me get into my last topic for tonight. Shout out to Ponce Tech. I appreciate you for the $2. He said no message. He ain't got nothing to say. But he did send the $2. I appreciate you. Let's talk about the last topic, y'all. Single until married. Please put a 1 in the chat if you believe that people are single until married. Put a 2 in the chat if you don't believe in this single until married philosophy. 1 in the chat if you believe that people are single until married. Or 2 in the chat if you don't believe in the single until married philosophy. Okay? Let me know. Okay. Okay, I got some ones in the chat that say they believe in single until married. And I see Ross P trucking with 2. And see, I'm going with the 2 to a certain extent. And let me explain what I mean here as we talk about single until married. There's a lot of people today that will say that the title boyfriend and girlfriend doesn't count. And what I mean by that is that they will literally say we're in an exclusive relationship, but I can do whatever I want because we're not married. And that's what I don't like, because how can we get to the marriage state if we don't become boyfriend and girlfriend? Can somebody answer that for me, please? That's the first thing I have to question. They say it doesn't count. Boyfriend and girlfriend doesn't count. We can do what we want. These experiences, they say, let me read what Derek said. He said, if you are dating, are you single? See, that's what I'm saying. That's the question. Because when I'm exclusive with somebody, I'm not single anymore. In my opinion, we're in a relationship. That's it. I don't understand that. People think we can just go from being single today and then married tomorrow. Legally, okay. Even when you are in an exclusive relationship, that's considered single. I understand. When you file in your taxes, you're single. Got that part. When it comes to legalities. But when it comes to reality that Chelsea is in right now, I just think that we can't go from single to married. We know that. We have to be like single, we're courting or whatever, we're dating, but we're exclusive. And this is the problem I have, because so many people think that they can do whatever they want because they're not married. And this is what Kojak said. If you're exclusive, you're in a relationship, but still not married in the eyes of God. Right, I agree with that part. Yep, I definitely agree with that. And that's the goal. We should have some intentions, because people can say they've been single their whole life because they've been dating exclusively. But at the end of the day, you've been in a relationship. Okay, let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck here. I see you, Theo. Thank you for the super chat. I'm gonna get to you in just a second. I see y'all in the chat. Yeah, they don't like labeling stuff anymore, right? So you can't define what type of relationship they in. Making excuses after excuses after excuses. And let me just give a shout out to Theo real quick from the Do Better podcast. Shout out to you for the $10. What it do, baby? I try to get it right. But what was I going to say? It's so funny, Theo. My grandma, well, I call her Granny, but my granny was watching you earlier this morning. And I come in her room like, you watching Theo? She said, who's Theo? I'm like, Granny, you don't know Theo? Theo's from Detroit, real cool guy, all this stuff. And she didn't even know that was you. That I told her you're always in my chat and all that. So shout out to you for being here. So my granny was watching you, Theo. So just know that you got a wide range of an audience. Just keep doing your thing on these YouTube streets. And shout out to AL. I appreciate you. Yes, AL. I was waiting on you. No, I'm playing. But he said, long overdue. Happy belated. Thank you. Way too late. It's okay. You came through. I appreciate that. Thank you. Let me give you some love for that.
Bands will make her dance. Hey. Bands will make her dance.
All right, shout out to you so much, AL, for the 20 ball. Thank you. Team Peterson says, shout out to Granny. And shout out to you, Team Peterson. I see you in your suit and your new profile picture, and I love it. And that's one thing y'all got to realize. Some of us women do love men who are suited and booted. We do like that. So shout out to the working men out here that's getting on their grind, and that's it. That's all I could ask for. Exactly, King J. Sean. When you know better, you do better. And if you don't, you won't. Yeah, shout out to Granny. Yeah, shout out to Granny down there. She probably laughing at me, but yeah, shout out to her for watching Theo, and she be on these YouTube streams more than me. I got her introduced to YouTube, and here she go watching it more than me, right? Yeah, I'm not coming this round. I'll be going to the next round, but we'll connect offline. Yeah, shout out to Granny for tuning in. Bang, bang. Shout out to Joker Nutty Nate. I saw you in the chat as well. Let me read something real quick before I get out of here. There's a woman who was dating a high value man. And see, that's the thing. When you play games, then that's what you get back in return. So I'm going to share my screen because I want to play or just tell you about this scenario where this woman's talking about how her high value man won't post her. But ma'am, if you were so high value, then I think your man would be posting you. But anyway, I'm going to read it and I'm going to get into it. Let me know your thoughts. Dating a high value man for 2 years that won't post you on his social media. And if you were so high value, he wouldn't even wait 2 years to marry you. I'm sorry, ma'am, because you're still in the dating phase. What is he waiting on? He got the money, so that's not the excuse. But let me continue. Says it's because he doesn't use social media for anything much. And then post a photo of a steak he made at a friend's house. So obviously the steak is more important than making your relationship known, right? We recently went on a trip with friends and he didn't post any photos. He talked about the trip and how we'd use social media to display our relationship publicly. And he didn't even make any posts about the trip at all. I feel like if I had not been on the trip, he would have posted photos. I'm gonna read that again. I feel like had I not been on the trip, he would have posted photos. But since I went, he has some hang up. What questions would you ask to gain real insight on his motives or lack of follow through? He posts everything and everyone except for us. I'm not looking for jaded advice, but advice from married high value women that are in serious committed relationships with their partner. Not looking for SB mentality advice. We're grown folks. I don't know if SB stands for side B. Y'all can let me know, but I'm going to just give you my advice. I'm not a married high value woman. I'm not a married woman. Obviously, I'm a single woman. But what I will tell you, there's high value in mindset. It don't have to be about the money, but I am high value. Okay. It don't have to be about being in the top earners and all that, but I'm going to just keep it real here. Social media has ruined a lot of things as it relates to relationships. But I will say this, if he's posting a steak, but he couldn't post you, it's not a mistake. It's not a mistake. It's the reason why he didn't post you. Okay. Either he's dealing with another woman, either he doesn't find you important, because he would have posted you. I think a king wants to claim his territory. Maybe I'm mistaken, but I know that to be true. A king would like to claim his territory, make it be known, especially if he's interested in that woman and he's ready to take it to the next level. But that's what y'all get. Y'all get with these high value men and y'all get with them for the money. Now you're adding on more requirements here and there, things that you don't deserve. Y'all understand that? This is what I'm saying. It's sad out here that we get into the society where we're pressed about if people are posting us or not. And that's one thing I was telling my mom. I said, when I do get into a relationship, I'm not going to be posting everything I'm doing in my relationship, because I want to live in the moment. Let me say that. I want to live in the moment, and I'm not trying to put everything on there for other people to validate us. I'm not doing that. I don't have to post every trip with my significant other for people to see that, because people do get annoyed seeing this stuff on social media all the time anyway. They're not as happy for you as you think they are. They may view your stories, they may look at you and keep up with what you're doing, but they may not be as happy as you think they are. And they're definitely not as happy as you are. Let me tell you that. Okay? And because you know that, I don't know, but I would just tell you, and appreciate you, King J. Sean, I would just tell you that I wouldn't be looking for somebody to post me online. I would be looking to see that I'm loved. But if he is posting other stuff, then he deserves to post you. He does deserve to post you if he's posting a steak up there. Dang. At least something, some recognition, but you shouldn't look for that. You should look for that. And I think that's conversations you have early on. You need to kind of understand those dynamics, because social media has added an additional layer as it relates to relationships today. It has. It really has added a layer, and that's a scary thing. As I told y'all before, I use social media more for my business than anything else. I use it for business purposes, Chelsea Liveline, things of that nature, networking and whatnot. But other than that, I'm not using it as a means to try to get validation, because like we know people feed off on the dopamine and all of that, but I don't think that's what we should be doing when we're in social media, because we should already feel validated, one, through God. Let's keep it real. One, through God. And then two, we should feel validated through our significant other, because we chose that person. We chose that person to be with. I don't need another man telling me this and that, because I know my man is going to affirm that in me. I affirm that in myself every day, but my man is also confirming those things as well as he's validating me. We should validate one another, and we shouldn't expect that, okay, if I get mad at my significant other, here I go posting something online and go get some likes. No, I'm not going to do that, because that just ends up being an emotional battle. Then you're going to have to keep up with it. Then you're going to have to respond to those DMs at some point. That's why I tell you, social media adds another layer, right? And I'm with you, Derek. I will never post who I'm dating. I'm debating that, because I've done that twice. I've had 2 significant others. I've posted them, right? Posted them and all of that. But last relationship, I was posting my significant other. We were going through stuff behind the scenes, but I made it look so good. I'm calling him, what did I call him? My king and this and that. I was just making the caption look so much better than what reality was. And I never want to have to front for social media to make somebody look good when I know behind the scenes it was not good. We would smile on every picture. But behind the scenes, it was hell, y'all. It was hell. And that's why I say I don't want to judge. I'm not going to be jaded. Like, my experiences will not be jaded based off of my past. Okay? That's one thing I know. And like I said, I was saying to myself the other day, I said, hopefully the third time will be a charm. That's my goal, is to vet properly this third time and do it right God's way. It was never done God's way. I thought it was at the beginning of the last one, but it wasn't done God's way at all. And that's why when you don't do things his way, it won't work out for you long term. And you wonder why you have all these arguments and you think it's normal and whatnot. Arguing all the time, drama all the time, believe it or not, y'all, it may be 2023 where it's the norm in the world, but arguing and fighting and acting a fool and doing all this, it's not the norm in relationships. And if you think it is, you may have to go seek some external help to understand that that shouldn't be your norm. Sure, you talking about Kojak, you're hilarious. I read the super chat from Chavis. I appreciate you for the $2. Shout out to your wife, Mrs. G, saying, my wife says, go ahead, girl. I'll shout out to you, Mrs. G. I appreciate you for watching and supporting the show. Thank you so much. Thank you. Seriously, you said, well, congrats on your future, Janessa. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I pray everybody has success. And we got to do things the right way. It can't be forced. It has to be fruitful. And just know that that's the only way that things will work out. And make sure that we, like I said, over here, I can't get the words out, but over here is strictly peace. That's what I love about everybody, my live liners, my family, because that's what it is. I'm telling you, I can have family who I've been doing this thing for almost 3 years now. And let me tell y'all a little bit background for those who are new to the channel. I've been doing Chelsea's Live Line on June 10th. It'll be 3 years since I started the show. And I was part-time in it. I would do a show every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks I would do a show. And when you part-time in something, when you sow in that seed and you're watering that seed every 2 weeks, it's nothing like doing it full-time. And what I mean by that is that when I was doing YouTube part-time, twice a month. I was doing twice a month, not twice a week. I was doing it every 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks I was doing a YouTube show. And I have about 6 people show up in here and there, right? And I don't care about the numbers, but it's just good to see that progress sometimes. But when I was doing it every 2 weeks, that's when I was getting every 2 weeks worth of results, if you understand me. But as soon as you start ramping things up, that's when you start seeing a result. And I'm here to just tell y'all that whatever you're doing, keep sowing that seed, keep watering that seed, and you'll see it grow slowly but surely. Okay, as soon as you stop, that's when you mess things up, because you always got to keep going. And it's a constant reminder to myself as well. And the reason I'm saying that is just because, I don't know why I'm saying that, but I'm saying it just because I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all as my family members, because I have family who may have never watched the show, but I got people on here that they treat you better than your own family will. Understand that. And that's why we always want to say, oh, you gotta love family. And I do love my family. I love my family, of course. Y'all know who y'all are, the ones who support. And I've even had family members who aren't blood, okay? But we all got one commonality, is that we all just on the grind. We trying to become better than we were the other day. And I'm saying sometimes we just can't depend on family to help us reach success. Sometimes it's the people who don't even know us that will bless us the most. And that's why I appreciate all y'all tonight for just sewing into Chelsea's Live Line. Because Mona already know, and I got to get with you too to work out. I was going to get with you hopefully in the next 2 weeks, because it's been a minute. But just know, I know you on your grind. I'm on mine too. And I just appreciate the love, because I say this all the time. I really do. I do. And thank you, Mrs. G. I appreciate you. I really do. It's just great to be able to have this community. Hey, however small, however big it may get, I'm just thankful that God has blessed me with a opportunity to be able to use my voice to impact y'all lives and talk about these conversations and just trying to trigger the truth out of you. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to trigger the truth out of myself, because if I didn't have these experiences that I had a few years back, the relationships and whatnot, I wouldn't be able to talk to y'all right now and to let y'all know what I've gone through as a way to help y'all understand y'all don't have to go through it either. We all trying to grow through it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the best thing about it, is that we have gone through something, but the good thing about it is that it's past tense. And I'm not going to live in that past, because if I did, then I wouldn't be able to talk to y'all, because I'll be so focused on the past and saying I shouldn't have done this. I wish I wouldn't have gotten into this relationship. But it's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. And I can't focus on the past anymore. That's why I'm looking forward to elevating with y'all. Let's reach these goals together. And we all have goals in life. We all have goals in life, but the question is, what is the system in place? We are so outcome focused, but we need to focus on the habits, because every single day, the things that we do autonomously, those habits are building who we are, building that character. Just another thing I'll talk about briefly. Shout out to Janessa for the $2. She said, great discussion as usual, Sister Chelsea. Thank you, Janessa. And I was telling everybody, it was such a pleasure meeting you at the Janet Jackson concert, girl. I saw you standing up all night, pretty much. Look, Janessa was standing up all night, because I saw where she was at. She had her little camera stand, honey. She was recording. I saw the light flashing. She was close to that stage too, and I was just happy that you got the chance to enjoy yourself, and I did too, seeing Janet Jackson throw down. So I appreciate being able to meet you. Thank you for pouring into me. One thing I just want to say is that be careful, y'all, with these high value women. High value, because you know that's a trending topic. High value, but I think a lot of people in this chat are high value. I think you high value, because when you consume high value content, you are high value. When you decide to pray for somebody instead of cussing them out, you high value. Thank you, Mona. I appreciate you. When you decide to go the high road in life instead of slumping down to the Dusty's level, then you are high value. But everybody focuses on high value being money. That's all we focus on, is just high value and money. And it's not the way it's supposed to be, because you can't be high value with money but then have low value when it comes to morals. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. I just think that we need to learn how to be equally yoked. We need to continue to pray for, he said, it's funny, I'm gonna read this real quick. Team Peterson, you said, did you meet your future husbands at the concert? See, that's the thing. I was in the row. At the concert. It was a decent looking guy that was at the concert, and then I saw that Janet Jackson had played. She had performed the song called "All for You," where she's like, "All my girls at the party, look at that body." And then I saw him moving more than me, so I said, "No, I'm not recruiting." So my point is this: when a man is dancing more to Janet Jackson's song "All for You," where she says, "All my girls at the party, look at that body, shaking that thing like it never did singing." You know that song by Janet Jackson. When a man is dancing to that song more than you, then you know it's a cue to not associate with that man. Okay, I said skirt. But that's not my goal to recruit. I just go my best. I go looking my best. I go having a great time. And then if I end up meeting that person, then that's fine. But again, I am open, as you know. You said. So that was the end of that. But there was a lot of that going on at a Janet Jackson concert. A lot of people like that. You said he's boys. Yes, please, Chavis. Yeah, send your channel to your daughter for sure. Please do that, because she definitely needs to hear. I would love to be able to pour into her. That's one thing I want to work on, is actually having commentary for young girls to listen to, because I'm telling you, I had people pouring into me. One, my mother, my grandmother, my aunts. I had them pouring into me the right way, teaching me the right things. I had to stumble, and it wasn't like, oh, I listened to them, I followed everything they said, and here I am now giving this great advice. No, it wasn't. It's called I stumbled a few times. I didn't listen to my mom a few times. I got mad at her because I didn't think she knew what she was talking about. But now I know. Because I'm just saying, when you're in relationships, you're hypnotized. I'm going to say it. You're digmatized. You're just all different types of matized, especially when you're not doing it the way Christ wants you to do it. Okay? You become a little bit hypnotized, to say the least. And this is why I tell people, just listen to what I have to say. I'm so thankful that I don't have to be somebody way older telling y'all this stuff, wishing I would have listened. I'm glad I was able to adjust like this because I understand what works, and I don't want to have to waste my time anymore. Right. I don't want to waste my time anymore on relationships. Like I told you, I had 2 relationships. Both of them lasted for a year. And I've learned a lot just in those 2 years that people have probably never even gone through in a lifetime. I've gone through some different things here and there, but we all have. We all have. We all have at the end of the day. And I just think it's about growth over here, right? So just to recap, I don't want y'all ladies to be talking about you got a male friend, because literally I was in a relationship with somebody who had a female best friend, and his female best friend was disclosing information about her monthly cycle to my my boyfriend at the time. So I'm telling you, when I tell you I went through it, I went through it. So this woman was disclosing information about her cycle and how she didn't like to participate in activity, if you get me, things like that. All of this information to a male best friend. And ain't no way I would ever tell a male best friend about anything related to my body, what I don't like about this, what I don't like about that. That's, y'all know that's private information. No pun intended. But that's private information, and that's not to be shared. And that's why I tell you, you have to have boundaries. Because if you don't have them, then you'll say, I mean, you know, these people will claim they're male best friends, female best friends, and they may have a little bit more going on. And even though one party's not interested, it doesn't mean that the other party isn't interested. Be aware. Be aware, to say the least. That's why I say I have standards now. It's just certain things I'm looking for. I thought that female and male friendships could exist. You know, they could exist. They could have a good time. They could do this. Because I never thought like that. I never thought like that where I thought innocently. I thought innocently where male and female could get along and there was nothing else because of that. And I never had any male best friends or anything like that. So I always just thought it was, you know, male and female dynamic. But now I know there's hidden agendas sometimes. One party could be interested. Sometimes it can be strictly platonic, but it can even lead to more. If you're lonely enough, it can lead to more. All right. It is what it is. Yes. 5 Fs. You said a Medicaid plan. Okay. You said the Brute Cologne is optional. It's really, 5 Fs are mandatory. The 6th one, which is fitness, I prefer for you to be right. I know some women claim they want a man with a dad bod. Yeah, they only want a man with a dad bod when he coming with the big bucks. You get what I'm saying? You see this when they come in with the money for your business plan or when they give you a new vehicle. Other than that, I don't know what woman just said, I want a man with a dad bod off the rip. Oh, that's sexy. That's sexy. Good for y'all if y'all want that. But if you're a woman who likes fitness, then you may not just want that because that man can become a couch potato. You want to be active together. I think it's about being equally yoked. Nonetheless, I just appreciate y'all again for pouring into me tonight because y'all did per usual. I just appreciate the love. I don't know what to say, but again, shout out to Detroit Luxury for the luxurious girl shirt. I appreciate y'all so much as well. Make sure y'all check them out. I'll put their link in the chat so y'all can check them out for sure. All right, let me put this in a live chat. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, check them out. Detroit Luxury, check them out. And then shout out to Persevere Data TV as I wrap up tonight's show. I appreciate you always showing love. I can't wait to meet you. I know we had a Nesby meeting not too long ago, but I had a Dwele concert. Yo, I've been going to some concerts lately. I went to Janet on Wednesday, then I had Dwele on Thursday. So back-to-back concerts. So your girl is kind of tired, even though it was like a week ago. But you know, I love me some good music, so that's where y'all can find me at a concert, a good concert, okay, y'all? But shout out to Persevere Data TV with the 20 ball saying, showing late love. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Yes, and I did see that you bought some art. I saw it in the Nesby group, so that's what's up. That's what I'm saying. Building that wealth through art. Salute to you, because you already got a plan for your legacy, so I appreciate that. I love what y'all doing. Shout out to my West Siders. Make sure y'all put y'all locations in the chat before we wrap up tonight, and we'll go from there. But shout out to Janesta, because she's repping that West Side. Of course, West Side is the best side. I see y'all. Shout out to, I see some more Detroiters because my guy Persevere Data TV is repping Detroit. Mona's repping Detroit. Let me know where y'all checking in at. Kojak's repping Detroit. We in here heavy, y'all. And shout out to AL. He said, I work out every day. No dad bod over here. Okay, AL. I saw you in person. We'll see about that. I'm playing. You look just fine. Good stuff, though. I love it that you continue to work out. I don't work out every day. I work out going to gym 3 times a week, and then I do my little walk in a couple of days a week. So I try to get in at least 5 days a week. So I ain't like you, but I appreciate you. He said, ain't no hood like Linwood. All right, I see you. And shout out to King J Shine again, because he was like, what up, little D from the big D. Salute to Dallas. I see my folks in Dallas. But Detroit is deep. You know, Detroit love, of course. But I appreciate y'all for being here. Okay, Joy Road up in the building. Yeah, I'm over here from that Finkel and Wyoming area, y'all. That's where I'm coming from. Not now, but that's where I was born and raised on, okay? And shout out to Louisiana. All right, sending love from the South. I appreciate you. Shout out to my Louisiana folks. I see y'all. And shout out to everybody else in the chat. I just thank y'all so much. Chi-Town. You repping Chi-Town? Okay, yeah. All right, Chi-Town. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you for the love and support as always. Make sure that... Oh, I see another super chat coming through, so I can't even stop yet. Let me not do it yet. Okay. Shout out to Sun Moses. He said, bang, bang, rewind gang. I appreciate you for the $5. Salute, salute. Let me give y'all some love tonight. And just as I was about to close out. All right, y'all. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Until next week, God willing, I'll see y'all on another episode. If y'all have some recommendations, hit me up on Instagram at Chelsea's Live Line, and I'll make sure to get in a show with whatever y'all want me to talk about. Making sure I miss no more super chats. I appreciate y'all as always. God willing, I'll see y'all next week on another episode of Chelsea's Live Line. But until then, stay blessed. And stay away from these high value men that ain't no good. Because you want them for the money, all right? That's it. I'm out, y'all.